Okay. Wow, I look so pale. Anyway, welcome. I'm sure it'll be in the title of the video, but welcome to part one of however many of me reading all the books that I haven't read on my bookshelves. There are a couple of reasons why I wanted to make this series. One, I mean, there's probably a lot of reasons. I will, I guess, go through them. One, obviously, because I love reading. I've been in a reading slump for like a year, probably more than that, honestly. So I just want to get back into reading. I love reading. I love diving into the worlds and stuff. Two, I have like, I think 92 books on my shelves that I haven't read. And I want to like finish them. Three, because I've always kind of wanted to start making like videos and like documenting the process of reading. I've kind of been really inspired by people already on YouTube doing that, so here I am trying my hand. And then another reason is that I just want to build more self-confidence. Obviously, I'm like super nervous to be starting this, but yeah, I think this is be a good way for me personally to kind of like build that confidence, but also kind of like document the process, and like it doesn't totally have to be like for a group of people. Like there's no audience that I have in mind for this. Yeah, I think I also want to start getting better at kind of like talking to a camera, or not even just to a camera, just talking in general. And I think it'll be super interesting to kind of like look at the if this even makes it to December, but it'll be interesting to kind of see what I'm like in the last video of this series and see like how much I've changed. Hopefully I will have changed. I want to have something like a hobby, something to do that is not sitting around doing nothing. It's currently January 7th, I believe. I've already finished a book. Who am I? I finished The Seven Husbands of Evelyn, Hugo, a couple days ago. I read it on my Kindle. It was great. I loved it. There's a character named Celia in it. As for other books that are happening in the world right now, I started Blade Breaker. I don't actually know when I started, but I know I started it like at least a month ago. I'm on page 115, so that's just like a contender of like currently reading. I am currently kind of, I think maybe, I'm reading it on my Kindle, so the pages are all wonky, but I'm probably at least like a third of the way through Red Rising right now. I hope to finish this in the next couple days. I was thinking about it last night, and I was thinking how it's not really YA, but it's also not really like an adult fiction. The plot is very YA. The kid is 16 years old, but the writing style and like the style of everything happening and like the gore aspect is really kind of intense and like adult fiction-esque. So yeah, I think it very much bridges the line, which I kind of enjoy because I'm kind of at that point in my life. Also on the docket is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is a reread just because the second season of the TV show is coming out on Netflix in March, and I want to kind of refresh my mind. Or the second season of Shadow and Bone, the TV show, which has the characters from this book in it, which is a better book than Shadow and Bone. Yeah. That's kind of it in terms of like super fresh in the brain space books. I have on my library account, I did start A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, which is a young adult fantasy, which I very much have enjoyed. No, I've been enjoying. I think I'm probably maybe like 100 pages into that. Oh, and I've also really been wanting to continue the Throne of Glass series. I got to Heir of Fire in early 2021, and I haven't picked up the next one, but like all this stuff happened in Heir of Fire, and it was kind of like new things were introduced and new plots were introduced, so I'm interested to kind of get to the next one. I was gonna say that was it, but no. These are all the books that are on my Libby account for ebooks, but I also do own them, so I'm not gonna be reading any books that I don't own, hopefully this entire year, unless one comes out that I'm like really excited for. Again, on the list, which I have also like gotten maybe like 10 pages into, is The Secret Bridesmaid, which is a romance. And then I put holds on The Faithless Hawk, which is the second book in the Merciful Crow, I think, duology. I did love the Merciful Crow a lot, but I haven't really thought about it that much since I read it the first time. But it's on hold and is a fantasy. And then I also have a hold on Devil in the Device, which is the second book in the Goddess in the Machine duology, which is a really actually cool duology. It's like set like 1,000 years in the future or something on like a really high technological planet. I don't know if that was proper grammar. So hopefully this series continues. Hopefully I have like the energy and mental capacity to like actually continue it and actually like upload and edit. This is like a catch-22, like literally like have the confidence to post videos that will increase my self-confidence. Right, I will catch you in the next update. I hope that you stick around. I'm excited by the prospect of actually continuing and uploading videos, but who knows if that'll actually happen. Happy first reading update. Yeah, so I've been reading a bit on my Kindle of Red Rising. I don't remember where I was when I started reading today, but I have got to page 289 out of 649, which isn't the actual page number in the actual book. I'm reading it on my Kindle, so the page numbers are all skewed because of the size of the page. But I'm really enjoying it. It's like a more intense Hunger Games, basically, but like a lot less political, I guess. And obviously there's like way more people involved. I'm having a good time. So I also just wanted to mention that this font is actually a dyslexia font. I was editing the format of my ebook on Libby just because I had been having some kind of, not trouble, but difficulty in ingesting the content that I was reading. So I was like, why don't I just like try out this dyslexia font? And it works. I'm not saying I have dyslexia. I don't know if I have dyslexia. I've never but it helps me. And I don't know what that says about me and reading, but yeah, that's why the font is not like normal book font, if anybody was wondering. So I'm pretty sure something's about to happen, like a twist, and so I'm gonna get my reaction. Okay, so I was right. I mean, I saw it coming like maybe a couple paragraphs before it happened, so like it wasn't. This is such a good book. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I mean, like, that's really exciting. Like, I love twists that happen where you can kind of like sense it about to happen, but it's not like, oh, I knew this all along. Anyway, I guess this is now an update. I'm at 353 out of 649. So I'm like 20 or 30 pages away from halfway through, which is exciting. But yeah, again, I mean, I'm still having a great time. Yeah. What you just saw was me going through all of the shelves and counting how many books I haven't read on each one of them, and then kind of editing that on Goodreads, because it was already kind of like, these are books that I own and haven't read, but it wasn't super specific. It took a lot of like, not math, but mental gymnastics to understand like what books fit into which categories and then which ones I wanted to like read for this year-long challenge. So I went through all my shelves and I determined that there are 82 books on my shelves that I have not read that I want to read. There are a couple more that I haven't read, but they're kind of just like informational books. Like down here, I have like some of the extended works of Tolkien, which like I don't really think I'm gonna read. They're just there for informational purposes, and I have a couple other books on my shelves that are like that. So yeah, that was this morning. Okay, so I am on chapter 40 of Red Rising. I got the copy that I have, and I looked in the book, and it's actually only like 50 pages from the end of the book. So I'm debating whether or not I want to finish it tonight. It is already 9:30, so maybe not. But I didn't realize I was this far in until right now. Like 50 pages is not a lot of book left, even though it's technically like 100 in the ebook. So I'm kind of like, okay, so how is this wrapping up? Obviously, I know it's not a standalone, so it doesn't it doesn't have to wrap up. But yeah, I'm worried a little bit because I didn't totally want to start Golden Sun, which is the second book in this series, right after this, but I'm really into this book and I kind of want the next one. So, I mean, it isn't a bad problem to have, but I'm debating it. I think maybe I'll read a little bit more, maybe not a lot, but it has sucked me in the past, so maybe I'll just end up finishing it. Like, why not, you know? So last night I finished Red Rising. I really enjoyed it. I know I said I wasn't gonna, or I was thinking about whether or not I was gonna continue at like 9:30. I think I finished it at maybe like 10:30, but well worth it. It was really good. Really liked the end. I did give it 5 stars just because like the whole encompassing thing of it was really incredible, but there were some moments at the end that I felt could have been maybe a little bit more fleshed out. I realized there weren't as many pages as I thought, just because there was a snippet of the second book at the end of the ebook. And so I'm kind of like, I do want to pick up Golden Sun right now, which is the second book in this trilogy or series, but I also kind of don't, because I want to like kind of let it stew a little bit. But I don't remember the last time that I just like read the first book in a series and then continued the series right after it. So it's a little bit of a not something I do often. I have a song of, I don't know what the title is. A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, which is a young adult fantasy. I think I mentioned it in the first clip. So I've been reading it for maybe a couple weeks. I'm not far into it at all. I think I'm on page like 50 or something. But it's about this princess. There's this festival that the princess holds to find a king because she needs to kill the person that she marries, which will be the king, because her mother was assassinated, to kind of, I think, revive her dead mother. And then the alternating point of view is this boy who enters the competition because his sister has been taken by these like evil spirit type things. Then the price to get his sister back is to kill the princess. So it's a princess and just a regular boy from the like town, and they are unknowingly attempting to kill one another. So it's really good so far. I am 18% of the way through. I have the day off. I have a meeting later. I have like 3 weeks until my next job starts. So I have loads of time. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna want to spend of it reading, but we'll see. So far, this year-long challenge, has been going pretty good. So my Goodreads says I'm 1 book ahead of schedule, which is better than I was doing last year. Hey y'all, not gonna lie, I have a really horrible headache right now. So I'm sitting outside to A, get some fresh air, and B, I don't know, there wasn't a B. I'm just here because my head hurts and the cold air is making it better. I promise it sounds louder than it actually is. I have my Kindle with me and I think I'm gonna maybe read a little bit of, I still don't know what it's called, A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. There you go. This is not it with the lighting. But I started Golden Sun. I got maybe like 2 or 3 pages in, and yes, I love that world. That book, the second book, just seems like it's going to be a lot more political, and kind of like political in the sense that of meetings and bureaucracy and like all that kind of stuff. So not really the vibe right now. And I stopped A Song of Wraiths and Ruin in a kind of intense spot. So I think I'm gonna continue it and hopefully finish it by the end of this week, which I don't think should be too hard. It's Tuesday. Oh, there's a bookmark in here. I didn't even realize. I can put it to where I'm actually at. So that's where I'm at. I have this much left, which is literally just halfway through. I'm reading A Song of Wraiths and Ruin right now, and I've said that Golden Sun is next on my list, but like, honestly, if I'm feeling something completely different, that's what I will read. I am set on my goal to read all of the unread books in my shelves by the end of 2023. So obviously it's going to be a super long series. I am going to continue reading, and I'll check in later. All right, so it's been a while. I think the last time I updated you was the 16th, and it is now the 27th. So I'm not gonna lie, I've had some doubts and some intrusive thoughts about this series, but I'm going to keep pushing forward. So since I last spoke to you, I have finished a book and started another book and solidified my TBR for the next couple weeks. So the book that I finished, which you probably know based on my last updates on what I've been reading, is A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. The world was just super intriguing to me. I really loved it. The magic system is really cool. And I haven't really seen a YA fantasy where the two main characters are so kind of physically far apart for so long, which I really enjoyed. And it was twisty. I just really enjoyed it. Yeah, and I tabbed it some. I annotated it towards the end because it got really, really atmospheric and really kind of mentally visually stunning, if that makes any sense. And I wasn't planning on annotating it, but I found myself highlighting little passages in my Kindle as I was going along, so I had to transfer them into the actual book. Moving on from A Song of Wraiths and Ruin, I finally remember the title. Woo-hoo. I have continued, because I started it a bit ago, I have continued to read Six of Crows. I think I'm about halfway through. I'm more than halfway through because I know that I am further along than where I have put my bookmarks in this physical book in my Kindle, but I am obviously really enjoying it. I am having the actual time of my life imagining the actors from Shadow and Bone as the characters in Six of Crows. I am absolutely enjoying it. I think the last time I read Six of Crows, or the last and first time I read Six of Crows, was in, I think, the middle of 2020. So it's been a minute, and I am remembering everything and kind of re-immersing myself in the world and just getting really excited for the second season of Shadow and Bone, which, side note, is like one of the best fantasy book to film / TV adaptations I've seen in a really, really, really long time. So I'm just really excited and I'm having a great time rereading it. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick up Crooked Kingdom, which is the second book, but we'll see. That's what I'm reading right now. I'm kind of confining myself to one book at a time just because my brain can get really scattered and one book is just easier to focus on at a time. But as for TBR for the next couple days, which I know is very fluid and might not even happen, I have these two in my library and they are the two that are on hold with somebody else, so I have to read them within the time limit, essentially. I think there's like 10 days left for each of them, so hopefully I actually like get in it and get in the mood to read these two. The first one is Golden Sun, which I obviously started and I got like 2 pages into it a bit ago. This one I believe is due in like 4 days, so hopefully I can finish Six of Crows soon and move on to this one. And then the next one is The Faithless Hawk, which is the second book in the Merciful Crow duology, which I believe is also due in like 9 days or something. So I have a very quick turnaround. I am very optimistic that I will get to it. Here's to better reading habits. My Goodreads goal says I am, I believe, 2 books behind schedule, which is not ideal, but I am still hopeful that this will continue. I get really excited whenever I am speaking to the camera and like talking about these books, but then I kind of get in my head about it and kind of not super confident about it when I'm then editing it. This is gonna be the last update for this vlog. Next time we'll probably pick up with me reading Six of Crows still. I've been editing this vlog a little bit and it's kind of gotten a little bit long for the first vlog ever, so I'm gonna end this here. I'll catch you in the next one. Here's to the first part of this massive undertaking that I am really excited but also really nervous about.